Ooh, child. It's Women's History Month, and we stepping heavy every day of it. This month is about more than just remembering names in textbooks. It's about celebrating the power we carry, the healing we give, and the magic we bring into every room, every space, every role. From the kitchen table to the boardroom, from raising babies to raising hell, when needed, we've been doing the work. We carry stories in our eyes, strength in our stride, and legacy in our DNA. And baby, we still making history. So, shout out to every woman showing up for herself and others, choosing growth, choosing softness, choosing to rest, choosing to rise. You are her story in motion.
So tonight we are back with a woman who does it all. Tonight we are bringing a trailblazer, a mom, a wife, a digital content and design expert. She's out here building brands, elevating visuals, and making sure businesses stand out in the digital world, all while balancing motherhood like a boss. If you ever wondered how to turn creativity into a career and juggle it all, this is the conversation you need to hear. Let's give a warm welcome to Toni Robinson. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm just fine. Thank you so much for joining us on the couch tonight.
It is a pleasure to be here.
I appreciate you. You look good, girl.
Thank you. I thought I would give y'all a little something today.
Okay, because you're springtime ready. I was still stuck in the winter on the colors a little bit, but it's popping.
I just threw it together,
Just a little something in your closet.
Just something to match the hair.
I got you. I love the haircut.
Thank you.
It's giving what it's supposed to. So we're going to get right into it. If you could just tell us what inspired you to create digital content and design.
So I've always been a person that's been very creative. So inspiration is all around us. So when I look at things like, let's just say if I go to Zaxby's and they have a new way of taking the payments, I'm going to figure out a way to change that. I'm going to figure out a way to basically break that system. So I'm creative, but I'm also a tech geek. And so with that, I love putting content with strategy, content with functionality. So I love saying something creative, but make that function well. I love listening to clients and understanding what they need, listening for those little things that's missing and understanding what they need and kind of giving them that. So just bridging technology as well as creativity together.
Okay. If you could just tell us about your journey and how you built your expertise in this field.
So I have a long journey. I would say that my journey started at the age of 16 when I was working at Church's Chicken. This is not a paid promo, but I have much respect for Church's Chicken because that's where I started. So I had a supervisor, Carlene Hudson, and I follow her on Facebook, still respect her to this day. But for $4.25 an hour, she taught me how to upsell. She taught me how to read people.
$4.25.
$4.25. That was minimum wage at the time. $4.25. Yes.
Baby, how did you survive? You had a whole.
I had a daughter at the time making $4.25. So in my mind, it's like $4.25. That's no money, especially considering what today's world is. So there's no money. So I had to figure out another way to bring extra income to take care of my child. So here I am, 16, working at Church's Chicken. I have a manager, but she's more so like a mentor for me. And so she's teaching me upselling. She's teaching me how to read people. She's teaching me the value of customer service. And so in my business today, customer service plays a major role in that business. And so just bridging that together. And I remember one Easter, she allowed me to put a display of Easter baskets in the store. And so it was just a display just for people to see. Right. That's all it was. It was me messing around, me just experimenting.
Right.
And so I put that display in the store, and automatically day one, people start making orders, start asking me, can they order it? And the difference with my stuff and other people's stuff is I'm totally personalizing it. So even with those baskets, if it was a certain kind of wine that you wanted, it was cash money in there. It was whatever you love and like to celebrate with. It was everything in there that you wanted. So it was personalized for you. So still today, everything I do is personalized for you. So from that, I moved to start selling baskets on the street corner, just like people do today. Mm-hmm. But I was the GOAT of baskets just because the way my baskets looked, the way they felt, the way they made people feel.
And the customer service.
And definitely the customer service. So I started out there. And so I just bring that with me today. And so today I'm doing so many different creative things. I think it's very important, like when I'm talking to a client, I often find myself a little bothered sometimes when they're like rambling and going on and on and going on and on. Let's just say we're talking about your event, you got a grand opening, but you're rambling. And so you randomly tell me why you're rambling that you're getting ready to go to the hospital to visit your grandma and she doesn't have long to live. I caught that, but you forgot you told me that because you're just rambling on and you're only thinking about your event. But I caught that. So now I know that you're sad because grandma can't make it to that event. So that night, you know what I'm doing? I'm on Facebook, I'm on your page, I'm doing research. I'm trying to see if you got a picture of your grandma, if you have any kind of voice of your grandma. And so I'm going to take that voice of your grandma from your Facebook page of her final moment with you, and I'm going to put that in a QR code, and I'm going to some kind of way put her at your event. And so it's just different things like that, just kind of listening to your customers. And so, again, customer service just plays a major role into what I do and how I got started and why I'm here today.
Okay, because I love customer service. I'm always a sucker for customer service. If you got something that's gonna touch my heart like that, you're gonna get all my money. Like people spend money on emotion off the top.
Emotion is the biggest seller. Yes, people knowing what people need and tapping into that emotion always wins.
And not to say that we're trying to, exploit people. That's not what we're doing. No. Really that I'm just giving you this memory, something that you can hold on to.
Right.
So I definitely wholeheartedly get that. Like I was speaking with the one woman. I don't know if you know Ashanti. I was speaking with her earlier, and how her whole brand, it was just it was founded by herself because she was dealing with some of the same issues as far as her, she's an esthetician, so she was dealing with some of the same issues that many women go through, but don't realize that they can, actually get help. Absolutely. So usually I feel like when you have yourself in your business, that makes your business grow even greater.
Absolutely.
So let's switch gears a little bit. Digital content is everywhere.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so digital content is everywhere. What do you think separates great content from average content?
What separates great content from average content? I would say what separates that is finding that right call to action, putting that right placement. Like, have you ever been driving down the road and let's just say you see I do taxes billboard. And you have the person with their arms folded. What does that picture, or you have the person that just got the first BBL, what does that picture have to do with your business? You have to make sure that that content speaks to whatever message you're trying to give. So if I'm trying to give you a message of me doing taxes, my BBL has nothing to do with that. So I shouldn't have that picture to highlight that BBL. Or I shouldn't have that picture with my own photos because it has nothing to do with me doing those taxes. So I think what separates good content is innovation, being able to find those little things that's missing, find the thing that's going to catch your attention, find that thing that's going to pull at your heartstrings. So you have to always find that missing element. And then you always, I spend a lot of money on software. A lot of people that do digital content, they, use free software and all of that, which is fine, but it's not the same.
Right.
So you have to be willing to invest in your content.
You got to spend money to make money.
You absolutely.
Some people do not want to invest.
100%.
And they want to get all the money, but what you don't realize is you're missing out on so much money trying to save this little $1, this little $20, this little penny.
Right. You can buy something that costs, they have one for $10 and they have one for $50. You try to buy the $10 version, you're gonna buy another one in 2 months. So why not go ahead and so definitely, absolutely.
How can brands and creators develop a strong visual identity that stands out?
I think they have to stay consistent. I think be careful of changing your logo every year, changing your brand identity every year. Stay consistent. As I was getting my makeup done earlier, we were having a conversation and we were talking about how we select people to provide services to us. And although as a business owner, you may have a personal page, you may have a Facebook, you have a personal page and you have a business page. I'm going to look at your personal page if you're a person that goes out a lot. That's your own personal business, but you won't be the person I'll do business with because it's likely you're going to cancel my appointment because you can't get up anymore. If you're a person, every conversation is about your spouse. Everything you post is about your spouse. You're so in love with this man, and when y'all get into it, you cancel appointments, then I can't do business with you. So I kind of, before I do business with anybody, I kind of go do an interview on them based on how they interact on social media.
Wow.
So
I get that. But Yeah, I get that.
But what's your butt? Give me the butt. Give me the butt. Give me the butt.
I was just gonna say I get that, but the way my brand is formed, I feel like I'm a realist, so I have to show that authenticity side of myself. But I never let the two intertwine. So as a mom, as a wife, as an entrepreneur, you always have to keep that balance about yourself. That like you said, that consistency about your brand, your business. No one will never know. They'll never know what I'm going through. You can. I just went through something, today trying to get up here, but I'm gonna always save face. You'll never know.
Right.
You'll never know the struggles behind it.
Right. When I think that emotional roller coaster, if it's somebody I'm getting ready to do business with, automatically I feel like they're going to cancel my appointment or it won't be successful just because the energy is not there. So, even myself, everybody has issues. When I'm going through an issue where I feel like I'm going through an emotional roller coaster, and you just want to post it, you want everybody to know, you want to do it. So instead of doing that, I actually text myself, and so nobody knows about that emotional roller coaster but me. And so later on, what I can do is I can go back and I can read that text message and I can understand that, hey, you didn't even have to do all that. Why was you acting that crazy? Versus the real knowing nobody knows but me.
Right. I get that. I love that wholeheartedly. Just like I said, just putting a balance to it all.
Absolutely. You have to learn how to balance. Even though, back to that, because that's your personal page, because you have a business, you're always being interviewed. So you have to even treat your personal page as you're being interviewed.
Right.
And even though you're a realist, I can look at that and determine that, okay, this is her building content, this is her being real, versus this is her just out here just acting up. So yeah.
Like we know all your business now.
We know everything. Like I've never met you or your child, but I can tell you exactly what your child looked like. I saw y'all in the store and I know your child just because you post them so much.
How do you balance creativity with functionality when designing for digital platforms?
How do I balance creativity with functionality? I guess it varies. It depends on what that is. So let's just say if given a scenario right now, we have Easter coming up. And so we have Easter coming up and I have a couple of people come to me and they want some unique things. And so just kind of balancing that creativity with functionality. So you see everybody, they're making the Easter basket, they're making the stoves. I am a basket creator, so I can design the heck out of a basket. But I want to step outside that box. I want to bring some new functionality. So I would do something like get a plastic Easter egg, put a QR code on it, have the child saying their Easter speech, and they take that to the school. So yeah, different things like that. You have to just step outside the box and not try to do it just like somebody else do it. I may see you doing something great, but that works for you. It doesn't work for me. You can copy, but the pace is never going to be the same.
That's what people have to understand. You can't, when you're going into a business, when you step into this new entrepreneurship world, entrepreneurship journey, you can't just, because you saw somebody else do it, you can't just try to copy and mimic what they do.
It's not going to work for you.
It's not, that wasn't for you. Maybe that may be your space or your area, your way of life, but doing it exactly as they do it. And you don't know what these people had to do behind the background.
You don't know how they got out the mud.
You don't know how long they had to sit. You don't know what it takes on the background. And you just see this pretty picture and you're like, oh, I can do that.
I can do that.
You can try.
Right.
You can try.
Yeah. But that pace is not going to be the same.
Not ever going to be the same. What common mistakes do businesses or creators make when designing for social platforms?
Not having a call to action.
A call to action. So I know what a call to action is. You know what a call to action is, but let's just explain it for our viewers who don't know what a call to action is.
So let's just say I post a flyer for a event I'm having. I post the address. I post the time. I don't post the date. I don't say, how do I buy tickets? I don't give me the next best thing. And so it's kind of like you have to make sure any question, you have to be prepared for any questions that you may be asked. So when you're creating any type of digital content, any question that you'll ask yourself when you see something, you need to prepare for all those questions. And so I don't just jump in and make flyers or make digital content. I do a lot of research behind it to understand what's needed, what am I missing, that type of thing. I talked a lot about QR codes, but honestly, if I'm posting something on Facebook, on social media, most people use their phone for Facebook. So I may or may not put a QR code there just because how are you going to scan it if you're already on your phone? So it's just kind of think about how is that product going to function in the platform that you're in. And another mistake is sizing. That is a big pet peeve of mine. Mm-hmm. Each platform has its own.
Mm-hmm. Just redo your question. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember what I said.
Let's start going. Okay.
I want to see her child. I just come get it. You don't need a FaceTime. 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 You don't
Okay, what common mistakes do businesses or creators make when designing for social platforms?
Common mistakes business or designers make when designing for social platforms. I would say the first mistake would be sizing.
Sizing.
Yes, each platform has its own size. And so when you're creating any kind of content, I feel it's very important that you size it for each platform. As I create digital content, I have a lot of people that just want to pay that basic price. But I could elevate you further if you allow me to do one for your Instagram, one for your TikTok. All that has different sizes.
Okay, so you can't use the same picture for Facebook that you do for TikTok.
Absolutely not.
But Facebook and Instagram are
you can
married.
Use for Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
You can.
Okay.
It's 1080 by 1080.
Okay.
But for TikTok, you cannot.
Okay.
It's a different size. And so it's a super pet peeve for me when I see things sized wrong. So I think for me, I would say that's the most common mistake is a size mistake. You have to make sure that it's sized correctly because I need to be able to read all the information.
Okay, so basically what you're saying, like, this is the frame, but the picture is all the way out here.
Correct.
Okay.
And so half of the information is running off the page.
Yeah, I can't even see the whole paragraph.
Right.
I got you.
And at that point, I'm not even reading. I'm going to move on to the next.
Okay, and I know you get this question all the time because we want to get in your business. We want to be like you, and we want to see what you do and how you do what you do. So, what are some go-to tools for content creation and design?
Some go-to tools. I love Photoshop, so I use Photoshop a lot. I think Photoshop is my primary tool I use. I stay away from things like Canva and different things like that. I kind of stay away from those type of things just because I like the functionality in Photoshop. So my go-to tool is always going to be Photoshop.
Okay. Photoshop. No other tools, no other secrets you want to let us, know about?
I think that it just, it depends on your skill set. So what works for you? Like there's a lot of people that use tools like CapCut. Personally, I don't like CapCut because I like to create my own transitions. So I don't like CapCut. So it's
automatic and does it.
Yeah, it automatically. It gives you like templates, and I don't use templates. And so it gives you templates to create your video. And so I just feel like that's going to be per user. It depends on your skill level. But as you work with these apps more, you'll realize a lot of them are very similar. And, you just have to increase that skill level. And, I go to classes, I constantly learn and evolve my skills. So you just have to pick a tool that works for you.
You educate yourself all the time on building your brand.
Absolutely.
Better. Yeah. And there was one thing that you said about the content creation part. I forgot. It was so good.
It was good.
It was good. Okay, so just let us know. We know you're a busy woman. So let us know, where can people find your work and connect with you to learn your expertise?
You can connect with me on Facebook at A Picture of Your Life Maybe. We never said my business name. I just thought of it.
And what they got in it?
Yeah, so you can connect with me on Facebook at A Picture of My Life Maybe. You can connect with me on TikTok at Greatly Goated. And so, just behind that, my previous business name was A Picture of Your Life Maybe. And so my current business name is Greatly Goated. And that was built from, I have grandkids, and my grandkids call me Gigi. But naturally, because of the work that I do, people call me the GOAT. And so my grandson, which is 10 years old, he came up with the name Greatly Goated. So now that is my new business name, Greatly Goated.
Okay, so you're going through a rebrand right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how often would you say it is important to go through a rebrand?
I don't think it's important to go to a rebrand. When the last time you saw McDonald's rebrand?
They just rebranded their whole place.
But how long ago? I'm saying as far as their branding, as far as their logo, as far as when the last time?
I mean, Pepsi does it all the time. Sprite does it all the time.
They do. But how often do you? Let me give you a story. So I remember one time my daughter, she was like 3 or 4, and we were riding down the road, and she drew a picture, and the picture looked like, how kids draw a bird and it looks like an M, but it's a bird. And so she drew a bunch of birds, and I'm like, what is this? And she said, can we go to McDonald's? That's her automatically brand recognition, her recognizing that brand. Still today, McDonald's has that same logo. So I don't think it's a time set that you should rebrand, but I don't think you should rebrand often. I think that your brand should be always recognizable. I should always be able to look at something and know, hey, that's Mother. I should always be able to recognize that. When I walk in this room, I noticed that you have your brand in here, which looks amazing.
Oh, thank you. My design expert got me together, girl.
So yeah, but yeah, I think that you should find a brand and stick with it. I don't think you should rebrand often because people need to be able to recognize your brand and know that that's you. Even, I do a lot of sales on Etsy, so I have people buying my designs all over the world. if I go anywhere and I see my design, I know my design because I know my work. So I think you should just be consistent with your brand, with branding and rebranding.
You like this much?
That's my little. Now what I actually say is that's my little right. That's what I always actually say. Don't put that on it. But that's what I always say. But yeah, but I recognize myself. But you know, it's amazing to even get those sales in. And I see even to, like right before I walked in here, somebody just brought a design for me from Ohio. I don't know that person. So you know, it's really rewarding just to see that people are wearing your brand all over the world.
Right. I get that. So, Toni, thank you so much for coming to spend time with me today. Did you enjoy talking to me?
I definitely did. Thank you so much for having me. It was amazing.
Of course. So we're going to have you again here. I want to thank you, the viewers, for watching. And thank you, YE, Young Entrepreneurs Network, for sponsoring this. And back to you.